Breaking news: Zadarius Smith signs with the Detroit Lions. Is what I hope is the truth, because right now it's not actually breaking news, but it is probably the inevitable. Guys, we just got through our 53-man roster cut. We'll go through that. Zadarius Smith is clearly, the whole world knows he's going to be a Detroit Lion. Hendon Hooker's out. Kyle Allen's in. Backup quarterback's been settled. Who gives a shit? Now he's here. We can move on from Hendon Hooker. Then we're going to talk about the Pistons. We're going to talk a little bit about the Tigers. We're going to talk a little bit about the Wings. And before that, I want everybody to I want everybody to subscribe to our page and to Hermdo's page. He's been putting out a ton of content, helping the fan forum out. He's a huge addition. Guys, he's pushing us over the line. We're almost over the 200 subscriber mark. I think we're at 199 right now as we speak. Hopefully, when this drops in a couple hours, we'll be at 500,000 subscribers. But no, seriously, there's a lot of people that listen to this that haven't subscribed, and you're not getting notifications, so you don't know when we're going live. Because, guys, we're going to be going live before every single Detroit Lions game, 1 hour before on YouTube. You'll get the alert on your phone if you're subscribed, and you hit that little notification button, and then you can hop in the comments. I did it last week with a friend of ours podcast, The Doctor in the Dew. They're out there on YouTube. You need to go check them out also. Big shout out to them. They've been huge in helping us kind of formulate this podcast. And they're big sports fans. One's a Buccaneers fan. One's a Bears fan. I'm kidding. He's not. He's actually a Lions fan, but he acts like a Bears fan. He's like that typical SOL fan, right? Where nothing is ever good enough for him. He would have done it better. But yeah, Superman's overrated. Like, we got a lot of stuff we could talk about. I want to also mention too, the Red Wings. They're founded out of the kindness of their heart, and probably because they're not relevant right now, to retire Sergei Fedorov's jersey, number 91. So we'll get a little bit in what that meant to me as a kid growing up watching Sergei Fedorov. But let's get into that 53-man roster real quick.
I thought you said I was all right, Spider. So
No, you ain't all right, Spider. You got a lot of fucking problems.
No, I thought you said you were all right.
I'm going to pull up some content real quick, just so we can go through this together through the Pride of Detroit. I don't know. I'm not really in love with anybody locally that I subscribe to, but in my opinion, I think Pride of Detroit does kind of a nice job of just laying things out for the way it is, and they stay pretty relevant. So quarterback, no surprise, we got Jared Goff and Kyle Allen. Really glad that we moved on from Hendon Hooker. I know Chuck's going to be really upset about it. I wanted to do a Hendon Hooker memorial episode, but I think we'll just move on. I keep looking down at my mic because I've already recorded 45 minutes of this, and I realized this was, for some reason, didn't take audio, so it sucks. But hopefully this version is more polished. We have Gibbs, Montgomery, Craig Reynolds, who I'm excited to see. Every year I'm real excited to see Craig Reynolds, and Vaikai. I think Vaikai is a nice addition. Big addition on the special teams as well. Wide receiver, this is where some people kind of poked fun at me, but I was high on Mr. Meeks, and he did not make the cut, which I still think he's going to be a practice squad fellow. But you got St. Brown, you got J-Mo, Tim Patrick, Khalif Raymond. These are guys that all had contracts and all had roster spots. But we've got Isaac Tesla, who, in my eyes, is the next St. Brown as far as impact versus where he got drafted. He's big, he's strong. Seeing him in those preseason games, it already looks like he's been a pro in this league. So love it. Meeks, battle it out, in my opinion. Doesn't really make a difference. I think these guys are interchangeable on the practice squad. We go on to tight end. Tight end is Sam Laporta and our good old buddy Brock Wright and Shane Zylstra. There really isn't a position battle at tight end, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty much these three folks, and that's where it's going to be. Offensive tackle, though. We got Penne, Taylor, Giovanni, and Jamarco. Now, Jamarco's the only name out there that I really didn't know too much about, but tackles seem pretty well set. Same thing with our interior offensive linemen. We knew what we were going to get out of Graham Glasgow. Christian Mahogany looks to be really nice. He just ages like a beautiful piece of mahogany. Tate Ratledge, the Motor City Mullet, continues to Do what I think everybody thought he was going to do, and just stay doing what you're doing, bro, because you're doing a nice job. Coming into camp, earning his spot that's very needed right now and vacated by Frank Ragnow. And not so that much that he's penciled in for starter, but just an opening in the line, right? We get into defensive end because this is really the meat and the potatoes, guys. We have Aiden Hutchinson, who is a missile. He's a force. He's a tomahawk. He is a quarter robot as well. Marcus Davenport, guys, we all want you to work. Marcus, we want you to work out. We really do, but we need you to stay healthy. I don't think we can keep doing this. Brad sees something in you, and I think we do too, but please just stay healthy. Same thing with Muhammad. Stay healthy, brother. You earned a spot. I think you did a nice job at the end of this last season and in this preseason, just showing up presence of when, hey, I can benefit from having Aiden Hutchinson out there, right? So, not to be said the same about Josh Pasquale. I think he's bye-bye. He's gonzo. He's ready to move on. I'm ready to move on from Josh Pasquale. Ahmed Hussein, you did a nice job. You made the world cry. But we're paying you. You're hurt. Leave. Come back when you're not hurt. That's kind of the way I look at that whole relationship. Defensive tackle, you got DJ Reader, Tyleek Williams, big boy Roy Lopez. Really excited to see Roy Lopez this year. I love watching these names. I mean, we know DJ Reader. I anticipate Tyleek to be a badass. Roy Lopez, Pat O'Connor, Makai Wingo, Chris Smith, looking at you. Chris Smith's a local boy. He's a Michigan boy, like Detroit, Michigan, born and raised, and played 1 year at Harvard and 1 year at Notre Dame, right? So looking to see him. And Aleem McNeil, we already know what we can see out of you when you're healthy. Linebackers, Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, got a bag. Grant Stewart, you were the hero of preseason with your tackling and your kickoff returns and your hair. Trevor Nowaski, Hitch loves you for some reason. I don't know why. You're a good, decent player, but I'm just saying he loves you. Zach Cunningham, God, I really would like to see Malcolm Rodrigo on there, but he's hurt. Corners, we got Terrion Arnold, DJ Reed, Amik Robertson, Khalil Dorsey, and Avante Maddox. Avante is the addition right here that we talked about a couple episodes back. He looked like a competitor in the preseason games. Not much to be said about safety. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, they're holding it down. About to set the world on fire. Rocky Sin, like him, another Alabama guy that fits right into that secondary. Specialist Jack Fox, Jake Bates. I'm cool with this roster, guys. This isn't anything that shocked me or scared me or surprised me. Quarterback 4 was something I was looking at, but I'm cool with the way they settled. Or I'm not quarterback 4, I'm sorry. Wide receiver 4, but I'm pretty cool with the way they settled that role. Doesn't bother me too much. But all right, so let's take a look at that. Them Tigers, right? Because I know what we can see when it comes to these Lions. This is just more of a wait and see. Get to Darius Smith. But these Tigers, guys, I'm telling you, this is one of those teams where I personally haven't been alive for a postseason chase where roster's just not loaded with studs. So this is kind of a different type of season, different type of roster, and a different type of postseason approach, in my opinion. What do you think about that? Throw some comments in there. We're used to seeing big hitters, big names, big contracts. It's a whole different approach to the postseason if you're a Tigers fan right now. So how does that feel compared to what we used to feel, right? When like all of our rotation was fighting for a Cy Young. And are you okay with Derek Skubal not getting a Cy Young if it means we win a World Series? I mean, are you kind of over these accolades? Dude, I want that World Series. I really do. I think Mr. I does too. Okay, so first of all, before we get any further, I'm going to say it again. Get over to Hermdo's page. Like and subscribe over there. He's doing some Tigers content, guys. And if you're interested in the Wings, he's doing Wings content. And we're going to be doing some Pistons content too. So going over the A's game yesterday was pretty rough. He did a nice job kind of walking you through why I think we're going to be okay. You know, baseball is one of those games where it's just such a long, big big, big season and have so many factors where it just doesn't matter if your roster's the best on paper, right? We've seen it countless times. So kind of a different approach for me when I'm looking at these Tigers. I'm a guy who's so big on these big 300 hitters that piecing it all together, player by player, roster move by roster move, is interesting. I love it, but it's interesting. So I'm tabling my expectations. I'm taking it one step at a time, reminding myself we're still the best team in the AL right now, but we got the Blue Jays. We've got a lot of teams out there that are some pretty heavy hitters that I want to keep in the back of my brain, but not get too a little obsessed about, because the nice thing about this team is there's not really a player you're putting all your eggs in one basket on, right? This isn't where just like a Cabrera and a Verlander up there. I mean, this is such team ball, man. When like Zach McKinstry is who you're sending to the All-Star team and he's your utility player, like a fucking all he does is play utility ball, you know you're going to be a fun team to watch. Hard team to predict, but a fun team to watch. So put your comments down below about the Tigers and what do you think we're going to do before October hits. All right, so, I also wanted to kind of take up people's idea about this initial 53-man roster. We went over it a couple of minutes ago if you're still listening. Again, I mentioned it. No surprises in there, guys. There's not anybody in there that I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't believe, or oh shit, we cut Tom Kennedy for the 100th time, right? But glaring needs still: jam the depth at defensive edge and offensive tackle. But again, that's not rocket science. That's not some hot comment, right? Everybody sees that. Everybody wants that. So, signed as Zadarius Smith. Go out there and just give me lots of depth, healthy depth, right? Let me know what you think, though. Is there a name out there that you're interested in? Is there somebody that you're saying, Mark, we need to go get him? This is a guy that's going to perfectly kind of take that offensive line and give them a nice piece of protection, or they're going to be a nice rotational piece on the edge. Put the comments below. I'm all in on just let's get Zadarius Smith right now. Okay. Tigers, you guys, you tell me how you feel, how worried you are. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worried. 1, you don't give a shit. I'm not worried. 10, you're freaking out. I'll tell you, I'm at like a 4. I really don't have anything to freak out about with this team, right? There's no need, right? The pressure's on. So if you think you're at a 10, dude, where were you in 06, 07, 08, like 2012, 13, 14, when the payroll was just surging, and you needed that World Series to solidify it, right? So to me, it ain't that urgent. I'm not freaking out, right? We're just kind of like a nice, young, scrappy team that's gliding through the season like you should. Now, this is something, too, I wanted everybody to think about. Put some comments below. Fedorov. Top 3 Fedorov moments from a nostalgic standpoint. You can bring up any of his major goal-scoring games, or how the Nike swoosh got thrown on the jersey, and you'll forever link up Fedorov with Nike, or how he was the Russian model playing hockey. To me, Sergei Fedorov is worth almost a episode where we've got multiple guys on, like me and Hermdo and Bob and a few other hockey guys are going through these Fedorov moments, because I'll do a terrible job at giving the guy his credit, but we got to give the credit where the credit's due. Corey, if you're listening, you know what I mean. The skates come right to mind when you think of Fedorov, and got to have them skates. So took a little long, in my opinion, to bring him out here and host his jersey, but I think really that was just the snobbiness and the arrogance of the Detroit Red Wings when we were Hockey Town, because people forget that he left here and everybody kind of poo-pooed him of leaving for more money, and why would you leave this team where everybody's coming to grab cups? And he just did what everybody does right now in every sport, right? And he got chastised pretty heavy for that. So yeah, think about it. Let me know what you think. But to me, I'm really happy that they're doing it, because Sergei Fedorov is such a key component to all 3 of those cups, right? 97, 98, 2002. I mean, the Russian 5, he's just as important, if not more than Steve Yzerman, right? So 1991, Sergeant York, Daryl Stevens. Holy crap, I just realized that 19 and 91, you flip them around. There you go. All right, so that's going to be a fun episode. I'll save that whole conversation for later. And then Trade Watch, right? Kyle Connor, price check. Do you think it's too much to pay? Herbdo did a whole video on it. I won't beat the horse, but go check him out. He's so much better at hockey than I am, right? So, and then the Pistons, man. I'm really excited about some Pistons talk this year. They are a team now that you're not sleeping on. The team that, if healthy, with I think they're going to be with Jaden Ivey coming back healthy, you're going to see a nice 1-2 punch with Jaden Ivey and Kate Cunningham. So super excited about the Pistons. Hoping to have Wayne on. Hoping to have a few more of my basketball guys on, because I know Hitch really isn't a Pistons fan, but I mean he'll root for him, if you want to call what he does rooting. And then I got to thinking to myself, who's going to pick up Hendon Hooker? Is Hendon Hooker the one where he's not working out here, but the LA Rams grab him and he has that one game where he looks phenomenal and it's, oh my God, he's the heir to Matt Stafford at the LA Rams, right? Again, that's probably a whole nother episode we could do on a conspiracy episode just on Hendon Hooker, but you even think he gets claimed, or does he just end up in the CFL? I think he does get claimed. I think in the right offense, he still has got an option, but I'm calling it right now. The Rams pick him up. So we got the grit line out there. I'm going to throw that down there on the screen, but you guys can leave some voicemails, but really do just text me. Get on here. Get in the lives. That's where I really want to encourage everybody. Get in these lives. And get in here and talk to us. Give us your opinions. Let us know what you think. We had so much fun with last live, and I had a lot of fun hopping into the Doctor and the Do. So they're a podcast that we got a back and forth going on with the Do, and you guys are gonna meet them because they are avid football fans. But what they do is they do this wrestling podcast, right? But the beauty of it is AI kind of generates and rips the storylines. They give it parameters, but they don't know the outcomes of these matches, and they're the ones announcing it. So, I mean, you get in there and you're watching the Ninja Turtles versus the Power Rangers, and you can talk shit to what I would equate to like Jerry the King Lawler and Tony Schiavone, and it's pretty fun, like live texting or talking with the announcers. So, and again, they don't know the outcome of these matches. So get on their page, give them a shout out, hit that subscribe button and that little notification, and then you'll know when they're actually hopping on. I got on, and they're on a lot of platforms, right? And I got on and just started roasting them. The Do, especially, he's their Bears fan. And it was fun. I'm looking forward to getting on the next couple live streams with them that they do and talk a little shit. So give them a shout out, but also to give us a like and a subscribe. I'm noticing a lot of people listen to this, but not a lot of people are subscribing. So please hit the button. Like I said, I think we're at 199 right now. We'll do a little roundtable too. I'm going to go through kind of what else is popping along pre-NFL season starting. You know, once it does start, the news is going to be never ending. But the guys, we're dealing with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting engaged, right? So I could care less about that. And I still don't understand why the world wants to give two shits. The Saints, they named Spencer Rattler as QB1. Good for him. He was somebody who was always saw in mock drafts a couple years before he got drafted. And I think his stock shot down and he's kind of fought his way for that spot. So kind of what you wanted to see out of Hendon Hooker, but it is Spencer Rattler. Jacoby Myers, apparently he wants to be traded. Dude, whatever. I'm getting sick of this with the Raiders. I don't even know what team you play for. You got Pete Carroll as your head coach. Give me an identity for a year and a half, and then I'll get paid two shits of attention to your roster right outside of Max Crosby. So really when it comes down to it, I'm super pumped about this Green Bay game, guys. We're on the road. It's a 4:00 game. It just doesn't get any better than this. It really doesn't. So, tell me in the comments, how you feeling? What are you thinking? Any predictions for this season? With that being said, one pride.
I thought you said I was all right, Spider. So
No, you ain't all right, Spider. You got a lot of fucking problems.
no, I thought you said you were all right.